Welcome back. So, my joke. I was able to joke a little bit on the date, and I feel like that's who I want to be. Is like, and she reacted well to the jokes. um, she said that she was telling a story about how a bear was eating her bird feed. And I was like, well, your problem was you've put your problem. I forget exactly how I said it, but it was good. It was like, well, your problem is you always put salmon and honey in your bird feeder, right? And she was like, oh yeah, that's what I do. Sorry about that. And I was like, okay, that was good. That was a good joke. Good joke. that's just that's the kind of joke I want to make. It's just like stupid and like, oh, you put salmon in the bird feeder. That's fun. That's all I want to do. That's why I'm like, the bar isn't that high for the jokes. Like, I'm frustrated that I can't even do that with people. That's why I get frustrated, because like, it's so stupid. Why can't it just make jokes like that? That's all I want to do. And when I don't do it, it feels like unsatisfying. Like, it wasn't me. I wouldn't make my stupid jokes that I want to make. Ugh. But today I wanted to do Dalton. Dalton had a question for me. A great question, as always. I mean, all of Dalton's comments have questions, which is awesome. I love that. Because it makes it easier to answer, and it's like, I mean... Uh-oh, they're killing my friends. It makes me feel like, oh, he cares about my opinion about stuff. Even if he doesn't, which I know he does, but that's awesome. That's like, I need to do that more. He's better than me at that. At asking questions, because I always feel like asking questions can be like weirdly aggressive sometimes. Like you're forcing the other person to answer because you're asking them a question. But if you just say something, then like they don't have to say anything if they don't want to. But if you ask them a question, they have to. That's stupid. Because I just said I like when Dalton asks me questions because it like makes me feel like he cares about my opinion. So I need to do that more. So let's read his comment. His question. I'm making progress in this game, I swear. It doesn't seem like it, but... It's about The Last of Us. What was the question? I have a video topic request. Don't know if you caught the news yesterday, but they announced a remake of The Last of Us. Yes, I did. This could be interesting to get your perspective since it's the first game I played. Very good insight, Dalton. I like that. You're thinking about me. That's nice. Is the remake necessary? Do you think the combat being similar to the second will make it feel better? Do you think it's a little much? 10 years. On a side note, they released the image for the TV show. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about the game first. And like I said in the comment, I'm like, The Last of Us is my favorite game ever still. So any excuse to replay it, I will. And if I ever get a PS5, I'll replay The Last of Us. So what they said they did, is they totally remastered it. They redid everything. The gameplay is going to be similar to the second game, which is different than the first game. A little bit. And there's a lot of similarities, but they redid the cinematics. The engine, I guess, is totally different. And what I'm hoping is that they did this because they're making the third one, and they're just like, let's just use the engine for the third one and remake the first one. They're gonna make a third one. They have to. That's what I said when I replayed The Last of Us 2. Or when I played The Last of Us 2 on this channel. Like, this game is good, but it feels like a middle part. It doesn't feel satisfying as an end point. There needs to be more story. It can't end here, otherwise it doesn't really make sense to me what happened at the end, if there isn't more after to kind of complete that arc of Ellie. It doesn't feel finished. It's a good story. It's okay. The second one's okay to me, but I think I could appreciate it a lot more if the third one is also just like awesome and wraps everything up perfectly. Then the second game will be like, oh, I'll love this. I love all three of them equally, probably. But yeah, I like The Last of Us. It's my favorite game. What more is there to say? A lot more. Do you think it's necessary? Probably not. But I like that they're doing it. I mean, it's like this is for money, and it's not necessary. But I'll buy it. If I get a PS5, I'll buy it. There's really no PS5 game that I want. If they came out with The Last of Us 3, I would buy a PS5 for sure. But there's no PS5 game that I want right now. Can't think of any. And Game Pass is so good. They give you all like the indie games and stuff, like Unpacking, and I really like that right now. So I don't need a PS5. But is it necessary? No. What's the other question? Good question. Good question. What do you think? I mean, you always ask me such good questions, but I want to know what you think, Dalton. Let me know what you think about. I mean, sometimes you do. You do give me your opinion, but I want to know your opinion too. Do you like The Last of Us? Have we ever talked about it? I feel like you said you did. Did you ever play the second one? Anybody who's watching, not just Dalton. Ariel. Man, these levels are so long. It's ridiculous. Just like the same hallways over and over again. Do you think the combat being similar to the second game will help make it feel better? I don't know. When I go back and play the first one, I always compare the combat to Uncharted. And I feel like The Last of Us is so much better than Uncharted in combat and gameplay that like I'm like, oh, The Last of Us is amazing. But they did do some improvements in the second one, I think, that will probably help. But it's not necessary. Probably make it feel a little bit better, but it totally unnecessary. Oh, the arrows blend aimlessly. Okay, here's something new. Oh. What's going on here? Oh, he's stuck. Ah. Oh. Any other part of that question that I missed? Yeah, I played the first Last of Us and I played the second one. I feel like me playing that, this is so stupid. I hate that I'm about to say this. But I did have a feeling like playing the second Last of Us was like a second part of this channel of me just being more confident or whatever. Um, I think part of that is because that game is so long that it took me like 4 months to beat. Um, but I really liked going through that game and explaining like the story that I liked and I didn't like, and um, it was really fun. But I don't. Yeah, I kind of wish I could do that again with like a different game, but I don't know. I really liked how I did that. I'm so humble. Just like still talking about my anxiety stuff, but then also somehow fitting in like the story of this game is interesting in this way or that way. I like that. I just have fond memories of it. But I haven't watched it in a while. Maybe it's total garbage, but any other? Do you think it's a little much that this is the third time in 10 years they released Last of Us? It's a little much. It's a little much. I wish that they would be like, we're gonna make The Last of Us 3, and we're focusing on that right now. And it's gonna be the final chapter, but like, we're working really hard on it, or whatever. I don't think it makes much sense for them to... I think it makes more sense if they do Last of Us 3, for them to remake the first one, because they're like, oh, we want people to be able to play all three, like, back to back. We don't want you to have to go dig out your PS3 to play The Last of Us Part 1. So we have them all on PS5 now. 1, 2, and 3. That one makes sense to me, but they haven't said anything about the third one. So I don't understand, really, why they can't just announce that they're making it. I think they kind of have, but they're like, oh, we're kind of making it, and we got the outline or something. But I'm like, what? Yeah, just say you're making it. It'll come out in 6 years. Who cares? You know that it's like the best game ever made, and people care about the story. But I wonder how they'll do. I wonder how they'll do that with the TV show, because is it gonna be like a Game of Thrones situation where the third game never comes out, but the TV show catches up? That would be funny. I wonder how they're gonna do that, like with the second game. Is the first Last of Us? How are they gonna do that with the TV show? Is this gonna be like, I don't know. They're probably gonna go way off the game at some point. Oh yeah, that was the other thing, the TV show. I have high expectations for the TV show because it's on HBO and it has like good actors and good writers and good developers. It's as good of a situation as it could be to be good, and so I'm like, it's not an Uncharted situation where it's Mark Wahlberg as Sully. I'm like, okay, this is gonna be a disaster. And it was. But this one, I'm like, oh, okay, this could be good, because they seem like they know like what they're doing here. I just don't know where the story's gonna go at all. what's the first season gonna be? Where's it gonna end? Is it gonna end with the first game? Does that mean the second season is the second game? Then what do they do after that? Do they wait for the third game? Or do they make 2 seasons? The first game. Sorry, I gotta end. But great question. Blah. And see you tomorrow. Good. See you tomorrow.